Welcome to Great Learning. So today we shall see how can a faculty create and publish a quiz. For this, let's first log into the portal. So once you have logged in, select the batch for which you want to create the quiz. From the batch page, click on the Assessment tab. Since you want to create a new quiz, click on the Add Assessment tab that can be found towards the right side of the page. So once you click on the tab, the following dialog box will appear. Now select the course for which you want to conduct the quiz. Now choose the assessment type. After you have given all the details, click on the Continue tab. Now this is where you set up your quiz. So let's get started. So first, let's name our quiz. So you can type in the name of the quiz in this quiz title box. So once you have given the name for your quiz, let's set up the quiz instructions. So you can type down your instructions for the quiz in this box. So what if you want to add a particular content or any links or files or images into this quiz instructions? That's always possible. For this, towards the right side of the page, you can find an Insert Content into the Page section. From here, you can add contents of files or images into your quiz instructions. So suppose if I want to link any content that is under the Assignment section, click on the Assignment section first. Now choose the content that you want to link to the quiz instructions. So now I have successfully linked the content into the quiz instructions. Now let's move forward. Now select the quiz type. So you have various types of quiz. The practice quiz, the graded survey, and the ungraded survey. So depending upon what you want to conduct, you can choose the quiz type. Now, what if you want the options to be shuffled for every student? So you can select the Shuffle Answers option. To set time limit for your quiz, you can select the Time Limit option and then set the time for the quiz. To allow multiple attempts for the quiz that you're creating, you can click on the Allow Multiple Attempts option. Now choose the quiz score mechanism, whether you want it to be the highest of all the attempts, or the score of the latest attempt, or the average of all the attempts. Now, if you want to limit the number of multiple attempts, select the Allowed Multiple Attempts option and set your attempts. So suppose if I want to allow only 2 attempts for a student, give 2. Now, what if you want to allow your students to see their quiz responses? So for this, you can either choose only after their last attempt option or after each attempt option. So depending upon what you need, you can select any of these options. If you don't want them to see the quiz responses, you can unselect this option. You can also choose if you want your students to see the correct answers. So for this, click on the Let Students See the Correct Answers option. So now choose if you want the students to see the options only after their last attempt. So for this, click on this tab here. So what if you want the students to see the correct answers only at a particular time and date? So for this, you can click on the calendar icon over here and set the time and date. And if you want to hide your correct answers after a particular date, that is also possible. For this, again, you can click on the calendar icon here. Now set the time. So now your correct answers will be shown at September 20th for the students, and the correct answers will be hidden at September 21st, 9 p.m. But again, if you don't want the students to see the correct answers, you can unselect the option. Now decide whom you want to assign this quiz to, whether it's for everyone or any particular student. So if you want to allot it to only some students, you can click on the student's name and then the quiz will be assigned to only those students. Now select the due date. Now please note the due date and the until date should always be the same. Now select when you want to make this quiz available from. For this, click on the calendar icon here and set the date. So now you have successfully added all the details for the quiz. Now let's set up the quiz by creating questions. So for this, click on the Questions tab here. So now let's add questions here. So to add a new question, click on the New Question tab here. Now you can edit the question detail here. So now choose the question type, whether you want it to be a multiple choice, a true or false, or filling the blank. So depending upon what you need, you can choose the question type. Now edit the points for the quiz. So suppose you want to give this question 2 points. So click on 2. So now this question will carry 2 points. Now you can type in the question in this box. For mathematical equations, you can use insert math equation from here. You can also use the various tools here to format the question. So once you have typed in the question, let's set the options for the question. So the correct answer can be typed in this correct answer tab. Now all the alternate options can be typed in the possible answer tab. So once you have given all the options, you can find the update question tab. So suppose if you want to delete or edit a particular option, you can click on the edit and then you can edit this. But if you want to delete, you can click on the delete option and you can delete that particular option. So now let's update the question. So if you want to see the questions with the options, click on the show question details. Now let's create another question. Now let's create a true or false question similarly. So once you have typed in, you can click on the Update Question tab. Now, what if you want to take questions from any of the previous quiz that you have conducted? So that's also possible. So click on the Find Questions tab. So from here, you will get the access to the question bank that contains the questions of the quizzes that were created previously. So suppose I want to add the questions from the max quiz that was conducted. So here I have questions. So select the question that you want to add to the quiz that you're conducting now. So suppose I want to add a second question, click on the second question and then click on Add Questions. So I have successfully added the question from the question bank. Now, what if you want to create a question group or a question set? A question group is nothing but it's a question set that contains many questions, and you can decide how many questions should a student attempt from this question group. So to create a question group, click on the Add New Question Group tab. Now name your question group. Now select how many questions should a student attempt from the question group. Now, if you want to choose the questions from a question bank, you can click on Link to a question bank and add the questions from here. Now click on the Select Bank. Now questions for this group will be pulled out from the Max Bank. Now let's create one more question group. Now, if you want to give 2 points per question, you can click here and enter the number of points that you want to give. Now click on Create Group. As of now, the question group is created, but it has no questions. So let's add questions into this question group. For this, click on the Add icon here. Now let's enter the question here. So once you have entered the question, set up the different options. So once you have set up the different options, click on the Update question. So under this question group, one question has been added. So similarly, you can add questions into the question group. If you want to delete or edit, it's always possible. So for this, choose the Edit option. So now you can edit the question again. So this is how you create questions for the quiz. So once you're done, you can click on the Save and Publish tab. Now your quiz has been successfully published. Now, what if you want to take a preview of this quiz? That is also possible. Click on the quiz and then click on the preview option towards the right side. So here you can view a preview of the published version of this quiz. So this is how you create and publish a quiz.